Hello, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Hopefully gold starts moving down and starts trending, because that's the only probability I see right now is for maybe continuation of some kind of bearish movement. If you realize the way price action is right now, it moved up. This was the all-time highs. This was from a Tuesday. This was Tuesday this week. You know, this was Tuesday yesterday. Wait, actually, wait, let me see something. Today's Thursday, right? It's a Wednesday, Tuesday. Yeah, all-time highs on Tuesday by 36.74. But we aren't moving up anymore. Like, it's kind of a losing steam over here. Notice how, like, price is coming up and it's starting to create new lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. Right? Lower high, lower high, lower high. It's losing a little bit of steam. And I think the reason is here is, like, as we're getting closer to, you know, the end of the week, let's look at the weekly candlestick first of all. Yeah, the end of the week here created like weekly highs. And as we're getting closer to the FOMC next week Wednesday, we could be expecting some kind of like stagnation in the market until that FOMC comes out. So basically like a retracement on the weekly and then continuation next week. Bullish. So that's something that you gotta be cautious about, because we're not in the bullish environment that we previously were. And I think this was already getting clear to us by like maybe, yeah, I don't know, but like this is not the same bullish environment. Like, yeah, we had some pushes up and stuff, you know, you can still catch a few pushes here and there, but it's not like the same follow-throughs anymore. It's not the same follow-through. So yeah, we're gonna be cautious here. I'm actually looking more for sells today rather than buys. So yeah, we're gonna wait and see. Maybe we can take out these Asia lows over here. We can take out Asia lows. That'll look pretty good on the daily to come down. Let me see from candlestick open. We already saw 0.50% here on the daily. Yeah, so it'll be nice if we could just keep pushing down a bit more. Potentially look for a sell. Look at the 1 hour VIC. It looks like Head and Shoulders just hit daily support. Now it's going to try again. Oh, do you mean like inverted Head and Shoulders? Or which one? Or just a normal one? I guess we kind of have two in a sense here. Not the prettiest. And we got one here. I think you're talking about this because now just hit daily support. So this will be daily support. And then to move up. Yeah, so that could, like, we're gonna wait and see here. Price is coming down 0.30%. Angie, hi, my first time on Zoom today. I just signed up for mentorship today. Welcome to the best London session stream. Make sure you go through that WOP database, check out the label charts, go through label charts, the bootcamp, then get onto the simulation. I think the simulation videos are like kind of the last thing that you want to watch. But yeah, lots of value there. Lock in, don't be afraid to ask questions. And glad to have you on board, Angie. I closed trade now was a good move. Oh, cool. Yeah, hopefully I can catch some kind of sell here. Hopefully price can start moving down like properly, because we just got London open. The last thing I want to see is for candlesticks to range, you know, because we got core CPI today. Core CPI numbers looks like we're coming out as neutral, so not really much of a bias, but anything greater than this is going to be bullish for the dollar and bearish for gold. Anything greater than 0.3%. So yeah, that's the only thing, core CPI and employment claims, but you know, that's why I don't like, because price could just start ranging right now. We just create like resistance, and then this is a support area down over here. So we might just start ranging up until New York. Sad day today with Charlie Kirk assassination. Expect some fireworks on the New York if Trump speaks. After that, murder on the trade. Now this. So trade with care on NY session. Yeah, that was crazy. I think Trump did speak on this. He already spoke. Is he speaking? Is he due to speak again today? think he spoke yesterday. Didn't we have an orange folder sometime recently? But anyway, I think I saw Trump speak on that. He sent his condolences to his family. And he also spoke on the train situation. Man, that's America. America. I don't think I'm ever gonna visit America, to be honest. Like it was always a dream of mine to go there, but the way it is nowadays, I don't think it's worth it. Like it's crazy. That's the only country where things like that can happen. Like where else does that happen? Where a casual guy. I don't even want to talk about the subject because it kind of just ruined my day when I saw the video. But like, where does it happen? A casual guy has such marksmanship skills to actually make a shot like that. That is not normal. That is insane. And then everybody is weaponed up over there. I mean, it would be awesome if they ever go to war because everybody has weapons, but right now it's just like not good. Right now it's not good. Man, it's a damn shame because I really think like America is such a, it's such a diverse country. Like so much culture, so much to do, but at the same time, man, safety over everything, safety over everything. Just the same way I would not want to live necessarily in Cape Town. Man, Cape Town, most beautiful country like I've ever seen. Like not country, sorry, city. Most beautiful city I've ever seen. But the crime rates, pretty high. Yeah, that kind of ruined my mood, man. If you even watch the full video of that, I mean, all I can say is a good thing that it happened fast, It happened fast. I doubt he felt anything really. That's all that it is. Yeah, the one that sucks is a train though. The Ukrainian lady over there, damn. He will probably speak again because he is going to ride this wave. Yeah, he's gonna ride this wave. That's true. Okay, I mean, it's like pretty close to him too, like to Trump, because that happened to him too, and he just survived by a whisker. So, and he rode that wave as well. So I think this is actually a good opportunity to get some ideas across for him. What country are you living in now? I live in the beautiful country of Kenya, where everybody is happy and freedom. Okay, no, everybody is happy, but there's definitely no guns here. There's no problems like that here. Pretty peaceful country in general. Yeah, it's an amazing country. I think as far as countries in Africa go, this is like the Wakanda of Africa. It's quite developed. It's very peaceful. We still have internal political problems like any other country, but as far as any other country on the continent goes, I think this is like the best, like in terms of all around services, safety, like just everything. I would say runner-up would be like South Africa. The only problem with South Africa is just that country is as poorly mismanaged. That's the only problem with that country. Like every single second day, you're getting like load shedding, power cuts. The politics just insane right now. Crime rates. Also, there's a lot more weapons in South Africa. People do have access to weapons there. And like many other countries in Africa. What about Rwanda? It's super pretty. No way you ain't Kenyan? I am half Kenyan, half Belarusian. What's the cost in your zone? Like 2-bedroom apartment, like 80 to 100 meters square. 2-bedroom, probably like $800, $900, something like that. Oh, the buy price. Buy price. Oh, buy price. They're looking at somewhere like $50,000, 60, 60, 50, 60 plus. I think it starts from a two bedroom. No, I think it's probably more. It's more than that. Two bedroom, maybe like $80,000. One bedroom's probably like 50, 60. That's cheap. Yeah, it is cheap because right now it's like the inception right now. There's a lot of building projects right now. It's like the beginning. It's like everywhere you go, it's like a construction site. You know, so there's so much. Things only get expensive when right now currently there's a huge influx of foreigners coming into the country. So that's going to drive up the prices. But right now there's a lot of supply. So, you know, it's at a good level right now. I think right now would be the best time to invest. Because this is all investment advice, by the way. Just a small disclaimer. But yeah, this would be the best time to invest because it's just like literally it's starting to boom. And there's a lot more people coming in because they see how amazing the country is. There's a lot of Americans. Of late, there's been a lot of Americans coming into the country. They're trying to like escape, you know, a whole situation that's happening in their own country. They feel a lot more welcome. Like especially a lot of like African Americans. You know, they feel a lot more welcome to come back to Africa in a sense. There's a lot of freaking development here. At one point, we were on the same level as China. I think back in the... Oh, man, I'm so bad with dates. But I think it was with the first or second president. I'd love to invest there. If I get some free capital, I will talk with you. Yeah, amazing. You can let me know for sure. I can help you out. Because my brother's also in the real estate industry too. You know, so much to do. So much to do. What about risk for war? Risk for war? There's no war here. The only thing that's like maybe like terrorism, but like you don't typically get those incidences like happen that often. You know, in a country like America, it's almost every other month or like every month you're hearing some crazy stories, you know? And people would assume America is safer than Africa, but like stuff like that just doesn't happen, at least here in Kenya. Like, it doesn't happen. The only thing is terrorism, but that last terrorist event, I think happened like maybe like a decade ago. Because security is pretty strong. Like literally everywhere you go to the malls, there's like metal detectors, checking over your cars, dogs. Like security is really good. It's been amped up. Plus, a lot of the time, those events, they're like political, you know? There's a lot of political conspiracies and all of these things, so it's not happening often. Yeah, but this is a range. And look at this. Massive range. This range, let's see, from wick to wick, got about 155 pips. 155 pips. Middle East is safer than the whole US. One thing I will say, this country is designed for happiness. That's one thing I will say. There's a lot of countries which are more designed for like making money. Like you know, when I was in Germany, you know, Germany is for me in a sense more designed for like making money. But like if you just want happiness, freedom, and like a lifestyle of sorts, like a good healthy lifestyle, then I would say it's a beautiful country. You know, like if I look at these other countries, they seem a bit too generic for me. You know, like lifestyles in Miami or like Dubai. You know, Dubai for me from the outside looks a bit artificial. Like it almost has no soul. It's like a bit artificial. Like, but a country like this, it's like a different vibe. It'll definitely leave a mark on you, and you probably will. You'll always know it for something that's been positive in your life. So if you know anybody who's ever visited Kenya before, let them tell you for themselves. It'll always leave like a positive experience. I can tell you here in Portugal, if you're getting that influx of people going there, prices will just keep going up. I can tell my house was worth like 170k about 4 years ago. Now I would say it's worth 250k. Oh, nice. A 2-bedroom in Kenya, like about, can we say 15 years ago, 15 plus years ago, was like maybe $20,000-$30,000. So prices definitely have really gone up. 10, yeah, about like 10, 15 years ago. 20,000, 20, 30,000. I think it's really good because anyway, you know, when you buy real estate, I think on average people are looking to kind of make the money back within a span of like 8 years. I think that would be a good investment. Like maybe like 8 to 10 years, something of the sort. So by the time you're paying it off, you know, you would have already made back your money, like, because the value of the property would have increased by probably more than double. I love listening to Charlie's debates. Yeah, it's sad. I'm not into politics, like that deeply into politics, because, you know, I feel like whenever it comes to politics, there's a lot of stresses, you know, with those types of conversations. But yeah, I mean, I watched a few of his videos and don't really have much to say about it. I just, you know, it was just like another video. But now when this has happened, it's crazy to see that freedom of speech cannot even be practiced. You know, despite whatever he was talking about, good or bad, I don't think anybody like deserves that. Being tied up to banks just to have a house is BS to me. Yeah, the number one thing I avoid is taking loans. I don't ever like to take loans. I really hate the idea of owing a bank something. Some business entrepreneurs would argue otherwise. They would say debt and loans is a really good thing. But, you know, it kind of depends on your perspective of risk. Just the same way in trading, it just depends on your perspective of risk. You know, when you take a trade, you gotta perceive the risk a lot differently than somebody else. Small little nice resistance over here. Got resistance by 36.27. Candlestick to break these highs to move up. It's like 65 pip range. Real estate is the only good investment if you pay in cash. That's the way I go about it. Oh, who lives in that Bentley inspired mansion on Kenya? I've seen it. I've seen that mansion. I don't know. It's kind of interesting though, isn't it? Like, everything is made out of like Bentley stuff. It kind of reminds me of the time when Logan Paul was making a lot of money and he bought a freaking couch from... Why did he buy a couch from Lamborghini or some shit? Like, cost like $1 million or something like that. Or like some ridiculous price on a freaking branded couch. It was like a Lamborghini couch or something. It's just for people who just don't know what to do with their money anymore. You don't need to sleep in a Bentley bed and have like a Bentley branded everything. But it is cool. It is kind of cool. I wouldn't want to live there personally, though. It's a bit artificial, right? It's like too on the nose. But it is sick. It is sick, though. Can we pull it up? Let's see if we can pull it up. Bentley Mansion. I think it's only the one Bentley Mansion in an estate of just normal houses. This is how much does it cost? $5 million. The Bentley Mansion over here. Oh, this is that celebrity. What's her name again? Yeah, I forgot her name. $5 million Bentley Mansion. Got some Bentley chairs here. Ooh, that pool looks nice. You know, that's why I love this country, man, because you know, you got good weather, you got amazing weather, and this is what I love. Nature, outdoors, you know, it's a lot green as well. It's a lot nice greenery. Although they're ripping down the trees, building new apartments every day, but you know, it's still a lot of greenery, generally speaking. Like the city I live in has like a population of 5.5 million people, so you know it's quite big. There's a Bentley Mansion. All my money is in dollars as well. Like, trust me, you come here with your pounds or your euros or your dollars. In the next 2 years, I think elections are going to be the next 2 years. Next 2 years, I think the shilling is definitely going to be going lower and lower and lower. So, you know, like just hold your money in a dollar account. I think it's going to be really good. You're going to make some profit from it, from holding it. Yeah, really beautiful houses here. I think this is the one next to... Wait, which one is this? Most expensive house? Mongolia Hills. Oh, this is the one next to ISK. It's like some international school here. It's an American system school. So I think this is the one next to it. It's a beautiful house. Especially when it rains. There's this like living room area where you can just see the rain pouring. Really cozy vibes. Mongolia Hills. It's the only city in the world with a national park in the city. Like you'll see animals and then you will see in the background the city. It's a fucking heavy ass door. Look at that thing. Yeah, this is it. Living room. Man, imagine just chilling here and it's like raining outside, like thunderstorm, and you know, like African thunder and like rain. It's so nice. It's so cozy. Because you know, like when I was in Germany, you experience the weather outside a bit differently because the houses are like really airtight. Obviously, because when it gets cold, like it's supposed to be warm inside, you know. But here it's like a bit different. And you also smell it more. You can smell the dirt, like when it hits the soil. Oh, that is a nice house. Is it a rainy country? No. I mean, only have 2 seasons, which is summer and rainy season. But for the most part, it's known to be a sunny, as sunny as any country really gets. You know, every country still has its periods, but for the most part, it is sunny. Especially during this time, it should start really clearing up more towards the end of the year, because that's going to be like high season. You know, that's when a lot of tourists come experience the beaches. You know, we have this beach over here. It's so nice. When I was a kid, my mom told me that when I went onto the beach for the first time, I thought it was snow. I asked her if it was snow because, you know, it's like so white. It's so white and fine. So I'll make more vlog style videos for you guys soon. I think that could be quite interesting. It's like a really nice, very big open beach. You can go surfing here as well, but at a specific section of the beach. Man, the gold is on fire. Yeah, I was thinking about some sells below support. Below like 36.22. I'm just not convinced. I'm not convinced because, you know, because of the core CPI, we could just hold this range over here. Vic, do you wear that cap outside the house? No. No, I do not. Because the sun will fuck it up. So I just wear it inside the house. Yeah, what I can say is in Kenya, like, if you're from any of these countries, got a nice British. There's a British population. There's German. German is quite a big one here. We've also got German schools. We have, most of the time, we have British system schools. This are like the standard for middle-class families to send kids to British system schools. But we also got German system. We also have a good French population here as well. We also got the French school. Obviously, the Kenyan system. But in terms of foreigners, there's like British, French, German, Americans are starting to come in. I think mostly African Americans. Oh, we got Swedish also. We got also Swedish school. Got a Swedish school. Also, we got American school. Chinese, man, so many Chinese here, especially because investments and everything. Bunch of Chinese. Most of the Chinese kids I knew, or like Asian kids I knew back in the days, were like going to the American school. They were like Asian American. Chinese, I think Korean as well. There's a small population of Koreans here too. But the Chinese are quite a lot. It's a boiling pot of all sorts of different cultures. Yeah, people are really friendly. It's really friendly because, you know, it's like humble. It's like a humble place. Like, people are more down to earth. Because sometimes you get caught in the rat race. When you're in the first world countries, it's easy to get caught in a rat race. Easy to get caught in a rat race. Caring a lot about people, what people think of you. What you're wearing on the street, what you're going to wear to go to town. Are we in a demand area? Yeah, we're in a demand zone. But you know, price is moving down though. It's down 0.40% right now. We are in a demand zone, but I don't trust it. I feel like we're gonna fake out here. Like, price is going to have a reaction off of support. Or like do like a fake out below support. Just mainly because of that core CPI. So yeah, I'm being very cautious right now. I'm being very cautious. Don't currently see an entry too. So close to TP. Oh, man, you saw my trade yesterday? I did what you did. Almost got stopped out and then price reversed. Man, I really thought that trade was gonna get stopped out though. But I guess it was just a 5-minute candlestick that had to pull down first before next candle moved up. The 5-minute just closed. It was a good thing that thing closed and then respected the previous 5-minute lows before candlestick continued to move up to hit 36.57. Is buying now good or wait? I would wait. Oh, isn't that what hats are made for intentionally? Yes, sir. But not this one. This one's gonna like fade real quick. Some people like the fade. I'm going to give it a go, but today I was stopped out on almost all my knife catching strategy every time I hold it. Well, yeah, I mean, if the thing is, if price is planning on retracing down, then that nice falling strategy will definitely, this will not be the good day for it. It will not be any good day when price is directional. But I see you kind of get away with it because you know it can't just keep moving in one direction forever. But yeah, you have to be very kind of accurate. You have to be so accurate to get the reaction. Maybe something like this would be good because it's at a demand zone. You know, it's not like it's just falling all at once. It's kind of like a demand zone, like small push, expecting support to be held. That's what I mean. Like, I feel like this zone is just going to be held up towards pre-New York. For some reason, I don't think price is going to keep moving down. At least until we can break below this support here and then convince me otherwise. If we can get price, see, it comes down. Oh yeah, the hourly. Man, if we can get through the hourly over here. 36.23. Ooh, then we have clean range. But does gold want to give back these gains? You know, that's another question. Are we willing to give back these gains? I think Goldie, for the most part, is just going to try and hold. See how that looks. All right. So, however, for the past 6 months, I have started to truly understand and internalize your trading strategy. Now I am trading very successfully, and you're the entire reason for this. Wow, thank you for that humbling comment. I am achieving a higher winning rate now. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, once you start looking at markets in more like, and you probably heard it before, like in a simplified manner, it will definitely help you. Because the more you complicate it, the more complicated your results are also going to become. So, you know, I'm glad to hear you're doing well, sir. Let's freaking go. Yeah, I see, like right now, man, there's nothing complicated about this. You know, what's so complicated about this that you need like a book map and like all these other things? You can see prices at a support at London session and prices consolidating right now. There's a higher chance that we come and retest the highs of this range. You know, I think at this point, because the only way we keep moving down is if we can break below support. So if we can't break below support, there's a lower probability that price moves down bearish. And especially, you're going to have these days happen a lot of the time when you have like news during the New York session, and then you're going to see price range. you know, like for core CPI. So yeah, at this point, I think what people are looking is for maybe even trading this range, maybe buys at support, sells at resistance type of thing. Ivek, just curious right now, if the candle break the resistance, it will create a swing entry model. But in the 1 hour it's still bearish. Yeah, I'm not gonna take it. I'm not gonna take it because it's going to be, oh wait, if the candle break the resistance, yeah, if it breaks the resistance, I don't want to take a buy because candles are coming down. But you see, like you said, but in the 1 hour it's still bearish. Yeah, candles are still coming down. And what we know about the London session, okay, you know, this could actually play out, but I'm not going to take it because I want to see like a trending environment. I always think like the trades that you take in a trending environment usually have a little bit more of a higher hit rate. You know, if you look at my buy yesterday, even look at how close I was to getting stopped out. But you know, just the fact that you're on the right side of the market in this trending environment, then you got a higher probability of your trade playing out. You see, these are the ones that are white because it's more forgiving. The market is more forgiving in a scenario like this, where you see bullish exuberance like that, and then you take your entry, it's more forgiving. But when it's like a mixed bias, then you know, then it's like anything can happen. Started watching your videos about 3 years ago, but back then I would just blindly copy your trades. If you initiated a buy, I would buy, and if you initiated a sell, I would sell. That's how it went. You see, that's how it went. And now look at you now. You're taking your own trades. I have been trading for the past 5 years and have incurred significant losses. You see, now for the first 5 years, and then when you were watching me, you were just copying me, and now you're trying to understand it a bit more. So you started to truly understand and internalize the setups, and now you're achieving a higher win rate. See, simple. So it's like you just put the work in, and the harder you work, the luckier you get. You know, the more you show up, the more lucky you get. That's what I would say. And the more you show up, you know, you put yourself in a position to learn something new. Each time you don't want to show up, just show up. You might learn something new. You might learn something new because now you're postponing that learning. If you don't show up, especially when you're working on a system, you're postponing the learning because there's something that you could have realized. So even when you really don't want to show up, because those are the days that count, are the days where you don't want to show up but still show up. Those are the days that truly count, not the days when you're motivated. Because motivation is like the wind. It comes fast and it goes just as fast. But discipline, that's the foundation that will keep you going. You know, that will keep you on the right track. Even on your worst days, you're going to be performing much better than even those who are just motivated. Even on your worst days. That's the discipline you need. Like, you've gotten to the point that even on your worst days, that you're still performing better than even that one fellow who's just motivated. You know, because now you've built yourself a system, a foundation, a structure. So you know you're performing much more efficiently. That's the beautiful thing about discipline. And man, look at this little shotgun entry over here. Candlestick broke above resistance. That's why I assume people want to be buying the bottoms here and then selling the tops, but I'm just staying out of the market for now. I'll wait for like a little bit more direction, but I do see something like that playing out. I don't need to take it. You know, that's also another thing. You don't need to take every single position that you see in the market. Unless you really want to take it, you can just, like, you know, paper trade it. You can work on your paper trading, your candle reading skills, your patience. It's a good way to work on patience, not only when you're actually looking for a trade, but when you're not looking for a trade and just watching candlesticks behave. Because now you're also kind of thinking like, oh, what would you have done in this situation? How would you have been feeling? So you got like a better, when you're looking for a third person perspective, you have like a better, you would draw your emotions a bit more from what's currently going on, so you can learn better from it. Because a lot of the time, you know, you take these trades and you're too much thinking about it being a winning trade that you don't get the opportunity to think about your emotions on a different level when you're in positions. Because, you know, FOMO doesn't exist. FOMO doesn't exist in trading. You know, that's all just made up in your head. You know, like what I say yesterday. Yesterday I said, oh, you know, price was breaking up above resistance over here. Then, you know, I got off stream. I went and I did something for a bit. And then I came back onto stream and I still managed to catch a buy. towards the end. I caught the last buy, but it was still a buy, you know, and I caught the last buy, but I still caught the buy, you know. So why feel FOMO that you missed like on this entry when we still came later and still caught another entry here, you know? FOMO doesn't exist. Like, the moves are always around the corner here. So even if you miss like this buy, this is gonna be another opportunity. Yeah, so we're just waiting here. Maybe we're gonna get some directional bias come in soon. One and done, win or lose doesn't matter in the long run. My edge will play out. Hashtag one trade a day, W day, 25 pips, 101 hit. Nice, nice. Awesome, Yassine. Yeah, I mean, now that you've also had one trade, you know, you have the option to, you know, keep those profits, or you can reduce risk on a second position. So you can try to take like a second trade, but obviously you want to, worst case scenario, you still want to make money on the day. You know, maybe you can even go aggressive on the risk, but even just calling it a day, I think is pretty good. Because that's what I'm doing. Like whenever I'm taking a trade here, I'm expecting volume to play out. So the moment I see any sort of drawdown, I'm cutting it off at like 35%. Let's see. Yeah, there's a daily support. Pretty strong area. It's consolidating as well. You can see candles on the daily here, barcoding too. When did you go from trading regular Forex pairs to gold? That's when GJ was moving shitty. Like GJ, was a point in GJ that there was so low volume, just like we've been experiencing this year as well, that I couldn't catch any trades. So it was not even like I needed to move from this environment, because this was obviously not paying anymore. Like the pound yen was not moving, because I used to trade the pound yen solely, and all is new. Like gold was another pair people would love to trade. So yeah, there was a time when GJ was just not moving, and I started trading gold. But man, this year it was been like the same thing, you know, like GJ stopped moving completely, like volume started dying out. So my last trade on GJ was on the 17th of April, and since then we've just been trading gold, man, because gold is moving so much. And you know, it's a great lock-in right now. So in the next quarter over here, this is the last quarter, it's gonna be double XP on gold, because of the amount of volume we're about to get in here with the interest rate decisions. We're gonna get double XP days. double XP weeks. We haven't seen gold hit 1,000 pips though. Wait, have we seen gold? Let's see. Let's measure. Has any candle here hit 1,000 pips yet? Like 680, 680. I don't think so. Usually gold average like 500 pips. No, I haven't had a 1,000 pip day. What was this? Man, this is crazy. 1,000 pips here was achieved on the 22nd of April. That was the last time we saw a 1,000 pip daily candle from wick to wick. Looks like this 5-minute shotgun is going to be faked out. Yes, sir. And it's like chopping a lot. If you notice, like the PA right now, it's kind of choppy. Breaking above highs, pulling down, breaking below lows, pulling up. It's like this PA right now is it's not clear, it's not straightforward. Could be a shock in the water. On the previous days, I have noticed like a little bit more difficulty in the markets, just slightly a bit more. Yeah, gold has the best price action. It's so like it flows so nice, you know, when you're thinking about trading clean ranges, for example. If you look at a support area like this, expecting gold to continue moving down bearish, man, like these types of corrective moves, they just flow so nicely. Nice little range here for a buy. But that's why you don't want to overtrade as well, because you just got to remain consistent at the time that you trade. You see, like, let's say you trade like some kind of swing entry models during this time, you know, just take one trade during that time, but don't try and do it like back to back. It's when you do it back to back, when you start to overtrade, those are the only two ways you can ever lose in trading. When you overtrade and you over risk. Only two ways you got to ever lose. Because, you know, the market wouldn't just pay you back to back. So, you know, you can't just keep taking every single setup that you see. I don't think it's a good idea in the long run. Did like take one trade here. You see, that's a probabilities thing for this time. And this a probabilities thing for this time. So you just got to kind of remain consistent during the times that you're executing. And then just take the good and the bad as they come. You know, sometimes you get losing trades. Maybe you can manage your risk. Okay, let's see. Is shotgun still gonna survive? Still hasn't taken out the bottom of those lows. The swing entry one would come a bit later. You know, swing entry would have to be at the break of those highs. Let's see what the stop here would be. Yeah, swing entry would come at the break of those highs, but shotgun is already in play. Shotgun's in play. It's definitely a counter trend move though. Daily is down 0.30%. This is a pretty big zone. Let's see. Unemployment claims. We're expecting good numbers, but kind of neutral. Not that much of a difference in unemployment claims. But we are expecting some kind of good numbers here for the dollar. Now let's go on to our Chinese indicator. We got USD strength, US dollar bullish, and we got weak gold. Okay, awesome. Yeah, this is like a joke, guys. I don't actually use this, but I think it's still pretty good to get kind of like an idea of how much volume there is in the market. You know, so if you get like lots of volume like this, then you can imagine that the dollar pairs are performing quite good. You know, and look at GJ. See, the pound is pretty strong, so GJ should be bullish. Yeah, GJ is up right now 0.14%. Man, look at this. Look at this distribution. Little consolidation breakout with clean traffic on the left. Very nice. See this? Clean range up towards resistance. Simple. Price breaks. Let's see, this is pre-London, I think. Yeah, that was like a pre-London volume for price to continue moving up towards resistance. So, yeah, I mean, this is a move I think a lot of people would have caught. Ooh, Goldie is not looking good. I don't trust gold right now. Whatever move it does, I feel like it's just going to be a fake out. Even if we start coming down here, I would first like to see like some kind of a commitment below these lows. You know, like, man, some days are so straightforward to trade, and then you get days like this where it's, I think, most of the time better not to do anything. Man, but other days you get so straightforward. You know, like those days we come onto stream and we take a trade on the first 5 minutes. Like, so straightforward. Those are the best days. So you gotta see, like, how much thinking are you doing? If you find yourself doing a lot of thinking, then you're almost trying to convince yourself to take that position. And when you try to convince yourself to do anything, then you know it's like maybe something is not completely right. When you're really forcing yourself, convincing yourself to take a trade. Is it real that pre-NYC good for scalping? Yeah, I think anytime, like pre-London, London, pre-New York. I got a buddy who trades the NYSE Open. I think anytime from the period of pre-London to London close. But the best hours for New York is 2 hours. When New York opens, 2 hours. The first 2 hour candlesticks. Those are the best volume times in the market. You know, and then the rest of it is just like, yeah, it's towards the end of the day now, you know. It's like the day's coming to an end. The range is decent enough to trade. Yeah, I mean, it is. If it could move up here, they have like about 56 pips. See how it's accumulating sideways. But you can definitely see the buildup of wicks, you know, like look at these wicks over here. Like massive wick here, you got another wick here, another wick here. There's a bit of like choppiness in the market so far. There's a bit of choppiness. See, even like look at how it's behaving here as well. Like, why is it doing this? These wicks just took out these lows to start pulling back up. About 5 minutes for 15-minute candle closure. Oh, there we go. It's breaking the highs of the accumulation now. So it should distribute from this point. We're looking at a clean move, and it should move up. Shouldn't even give too much drawdown. Should be just a clean move since it's distributing and there's like an inverted head and shoulders here. Problem is, like, it's still daily candlestick is bearish. It's not in line with the trend. It's more of like a counter trend move. That's the only thing you see. Let's see if it respects. I'll put my stop loss if I took this right here by 36.28. That would have to be the market has to respect. If you're taking it based off a consolidation break here, expecting volume to keep pushing up. It's got that inverted confirmation, inverted head and shoulders. It's also got the kiss of death there on the 5 minute right below the candlestick. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna keep waiting till it becomes a bit more clear. It looks like a break and a retest too. But if this fakes out, that's just gonna be complete garbage. Because it has like a beautiful break and retest over here. It's got that confirmation to keep moving out. Like it just beautifully respected these previous highs too by 36.27. We tested it 1, 2, 3, 4 times, rejected it. No candlestick closed below that level to re-break the highs. So, you know, when you're looking at price action, this is how price should behave if we're supposed to move up. You know, it shouldn't be coming back down. Now, price should just keep moving upwards. So if you see like a candlestick now open and then move down like this, man, there's no winning in that situation. All you can do is like just manage your risk. You know, but probability wise and technically speaking, if we've already rejected, we should just keep moving up like this. Break and retest, push out bullish. It's already tried its liquidity grabs as well. Right over here, broke above resistance, pulled down, even came all the way down here. Came down here, broke below support, and then pulled back upwards. Break back below above the previous highs. Respect, 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 and then re-break the previous highs again. We'll see if there's a shock in the water. Pricing in for CPI. Yeah, I feel like, you know, also the volatility we've been seeing already today before London Open, it's kind of hinting towards a certain an event, you know, an event like core CPI or something like that. Because you got these red folders for New York session. I've seen gold do this multiple times. I've seen this happen so many times. Red folders during New York session, price comes down, creates a range, and then we just end up bouncing in the range. Maybe even fake out the range over here and then come back into the range and then just keep bouncing within that area. We've seen this happen so many times before. That's why when we came on stream, we marked these levels here as like a support. And you know, it's also the daily support. You also have a daily support over here. So if anything, I guess there should be a better probability it moves up. Because for it to move down, it still needs to respect these lows. But moving up would be will kind of be on brand with what gold typically does on days like this. It's all just probabilities. Morning, bro. Have you spoken about Charlie Kirk stuff yet? Been busy at work? Oh, and only just joined? Hey, what's up, Michael? Yeah, we spoke about it. Watching the video was not as bad as the Ukrainian ladies video. The Ukrainian ladies video is terrible, but at least with that video, you could see that it happened quite quick, and man, he probably didn't see it coming, and just from the 1 second to the next, it was just done like that. You know, at least like if I ever die, I would like it to be like a quick death. You know, that was terrible though. Of course, at the end of the day, no one deserves that, but if there was a way that you would go out in an accident of sort like that, at least, you know, that was quick, painless. But sad, pretty sad. I don't like to think about it. It's not even about being ignorant, but it just... There's a lot of bad in the world, you know. If you want to always think about the bad, then there's a lot of bad to go around, and that can really just ruin your mood. But yeah, stuff like this, man, it's hard to avoid because it's all over social media. Come on, Goldie, we're still gonna move up or not? Normally no stream today. No, we're gonna have stream on Thursdays now. I think we only did no stream on Thursdays for like 2 weeks. Only 2 weeks, then we changed it up again. But on other news, did you see the other thing? Man, there's a lot that came out recently. Did you see this video over here? Let me try and find it. This is also like a recent UFO sighting. Man, I want to believe this thing so bad. You know, so bad I want to believe that they're actually like aliens. So every time I see a video like this is more of the credible type of videos. It's always interesting, you know. But there's always some kind of like debate around what the hell that thing actually is. But it's crazy. Look at this. Like this little orb thing was flying, and you got a Hellfire missile shot at it. Like boom, direct hit right there. But look at the way it ricochets. You know, some kind of interesting tech over here. It just ricochets from the orb instead of like blowing up, because you'd imagine like a missile would blow up. But you know, if you're speaking about alien technology, and if they actually had technology to come all the way here, they probably have like, you know, that's when you're gonna open up so many reasonings to this, you know, because they could have like some kind of a force field, or they could even disable the missile before it hits. That's why it doesn't explode. But this is one of the more realistic ones of these archives, which always released. This happened like October, I think, 2024. And they always release the previous ones. The military, they always release these really old ones. They don't tell us when it's happening. So it's pretty nice when we get like a little glimpse into these types of videos. Because look at that. Boom. It ricochets off it. And then you see some kind of debris. And man, look at how crazy this is. Like even the debris are kind of like following it. It looks like the debris kind of like following, or whatever that is. It's kind of like following it, like as if it has some kind of gravitational field around it. And the thing is, it doesn't even crash. That's the whole idea here. You'd imagine it would crash, but it doesn't crash. It just keeps flying. This was in Congress now. They're talking about it.
And there are big questions right now. Why was that missile fired?
Pretty cool. Could be like aliens or even just human technology. Yeah, I think that's about it. I think those are the three main events that's happened in the past week. Oh, and there was another event, but anyway. Ooh, look at this. Price is moving up here. Looks like the shotgun play survived. It survived because instead of a reversal confirmation signal on that consolidation breakout, it was a bullish continuation. You see, that's why I said like 35%. Most of your good trades are not gonna come that much into drawdown. You know, most of your good trades are not gonna. They'll give you some drawdown. That's fine, but I don't really expect them so much to be coming back into drawdown like that deeply. No, like still respected. Broke above 36.29 here, and you know, just moved up. So I think like much higher chance with just range over here. So I'm looking for sells. Personally, I'm more bearish on the day, but even then I was skeptical because of this support here in line with the news. It's coming out later. I think if aliens had the ability to travel here with their tech, we wouldn't necessarily have the tech to stop them. Yeah, imagine that, man. You got a potential alien in there and you want to start a fight with it. Man, humanity, yeah. Shooting a missile at an alien spaceship, I don't think it's a good idea. It's always by the ocean. No, it's always by the ocean. These videos. But it just makes sense, I guess. Question is, who is inside of it? Is it another human, or is it something else? Do I believe in aliens? I want to really badly. I just haven't seen like super definitive proof, but you know, the signs are out there. You know, with a topic like this, you gotta play devil's advocate, you know. Otherwise, everything you see will be already like, you're gonna get like a bias in such a thing like this. You get a very strong bias. I used to have one roommate in university. Man, this guy believed so hard, you know, so hard. Very smart guy as well. Very intelligent guy. He believed so hard about aliens. He used to spend a lot of time on the balcony smoking a joint and looking at the stars. And like every time we would see something move like kind of fast and be like, hey, look at that. Look at that. That's an alien, bro. You know, it could be a satellite or it could be like anything, but you go far down the rabbit hole like that. He was a very smart guy though. He used to smoke a lot of weed, but you know, it's like very smart though. Kind of sad if we're all the life in the universe. Yeah, it's a pretty low probability. If you were to gamble right now your life, that you'd either be the only life in the universe or there's another life, the highest probability gamble would be that there's definitely life out there. You would never gamble that you're the only life in the whole universe. You know, the universe is so big, you can't even conceptualize how big it is. Like the brain is not even designed to understand how big it is. You know, like every single grain of sand on planet Earth is equivalent to galaxy, you know, just one galaxy. For example, every single grain of sand on Earth is equivalent to like one galaxy. So just imagine. Probably even more than the grains of sand on the Earth. So you can't say that there's, you know, that only us in such a big pool like that are the only ones. There's a lot of theories to it. It's an interesting theory. There's one called the dark forest, where it's like, if there's life out there, it's like a dark forest. You know, if you imagine walking through a dark forest, you wouldn't be shouting and screaming, right? You wouldn't be like, hey, anybody out there? Because, you know, you're kind of opening yourself up to risk. Because, you know, if like somebody hears you and they're much more intelligent than you, they're going to come and take advantage. There's like dark forest theory about that too. Like, it's better not to say anything. Nice thumbnail. Thank you, Dale. Yeah, I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd for these space things. I love them. That's not a gamble anymore. They already found a planet that have stuff or in the atmosphere that can only be found by living things. Yeah, I remember this. I think yeah, I remember they got like they saw methane gas in the atmosphere. Or something that can be only produced by some kind of a living organism. Yeah, but as far as trading goes, man, you know, like price, let's see, how much did it move from this shotgun here? Moved about 30 pips from the accumulation breakout. Moves like 23 pips. 23 pips, yeah, I think that's it. That would be the move at this point. I wouldn't take any more drawdown on any of those trades. And candle here closed with no top wick. Look at this. No top wicks on these previous three candles. Boom, boom, boom. Kind of a odd bit of volume that we're starting to get, right? It's not really trendy. It's a bit indecisive. Why are very smart people that I know smoke weed? Is because they do so much research. Like when they're high, they do so much research on things. You know, it's not only about aliens. My roommate used to tell me about. He told me about a lot of things. You know, like how it's good for, you know, the oddest things, but you know, also makes sense. Like it's good to shit when you shit. It's good when you kneel. When you shit, because that's the natural way of doing it. You know, certain things like that. Or like, it's not good to put earbuds in your ear because, you know, your ear is not designed for that. Like, you'd rather use like your finger, like your pinky finger, because, you know, you shouldn't have something like so sharp in your ear like this. Or what else I used to say? You know, like toilet paper causes cancer because, you know, it's like toilet paper is bleached. It's like some kind of bleach on toilet paper. So it's not good to use toilet paper. I think in India, they don't even use toilet paper. In India, they use bidets. So it's going to be like quite a cultural shock if you go to India and you're looking for toilet paper. But all you see is a bidet. At least that's what I've heard. Yeah, just stuff like that. That's why people who smoke weed, sometimes they got a lot of knowledge, you know, like deep diving into topics. I used to like Action Bronson. If you know Action Bronson, Ancient Aliens, love that show. Yeah, my friend's a conspiracy theorist. Here's my only friend who's a conspiracy theorist, this guy. Most of my other buddies are not. Most of my other buddies don't even like talking about stuff like that. A smart guy. His dad owned a bank. You know, his dad owned a bank. He used to show me pictures of his dad as a Freemason. They used to have the outfits, and he was like telling me about what Freemasons like. Yeah, it's more of like a network of people who like support each other more than anything too sinister. They used to show me these things. It's good to have people. You know, you never know who you meet in life. Like, you're gonna end up meeting like the most craziest people, but they have like such a big understanding of different topics. That's why they seem crazy to regular people, you know. And then you start learning about them more, and you're like, these are all these, like, for me, kind of quite interesting people. Yeah, I feel a lot of my friends with money are like very, very weird like this. Awful PA? Yeah, awful PA. Man, look at this. This doesn't make any sense. This makes no sense. Why is it coming back down here? This is like those liquidity grabs, you know. The candle doesn't even have a top wick. No top wick yet. And then it's like pulling all the way down. Bet you it can still close bullish in the next 20 seconds. So you got 15 seconds, 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. All my friends who are weird, they always have the craziest connections. Craziest connections. Craziest stories. Like, if you guys know this one guy, Al Jazeera did a documentary on this guy. I wonder what his net worth is. Let's see. Kamlesh Patni. Kamlesh Patni. How much is his net worth? This guy's a gold dealer. He lives in Dubai. He works with governments. He worked with Gaddafi as well at some point. Let's see. He's a ninja who was at the center of the Goldenberg. Yeah, there's a Goldenberg scandal that happened quite a while ago. Over 60 billion shillings. But this guy's definitely worth hundreds of millions of dollars. He's like one of the gold smugglers. I met this guy through one of my crazy friends. I went to his office when I was much younger. My friend used to work for him. I met this guy. Such a weird guy as well. Such a weird guy, but it's so funny. It's like worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Lives in Dubai. It's in gold smuggling. Works with government, countries, governments. He looks like a scammer. Yeah, he is. Like, I watched a recent interview with that guy, and he mentioned God's name like every single, you know, like if you want to know a real scammer, the guys who like always hiding behind religion, you know, like overly protecting themselves with religion. He mentioned like God names, like literally every 2 minutes he would mention God's name. Oh, it's God's this. How much do you earn? I earn what God gives me. And how much is that? It's only valued by, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like they have a way of doing it where it's like, You can't even say anything bad about it because what are you going to say? But it's super defensive. South Africa is famous for smuggling diamonds and precious metals. Yeah, haven't you watched Blood Diamond? Leonardo DiCaprio? Man, awesome movie that is. So deep as well. Like how the movies, like what the diamonds go through to get to that jewelry shop in a Western country somewhere. And then you're like, damn, man, that diamond went through a lot. People died for that diamond. He was a bishop in Kenya. Yeah, he's like a preacher. He's a preacher. Hey, morning. Good morning, Moans. Looks like this 5-minute shotgun is going to be faked out. Oh, that was previously. Yeah, now it's moved up. But that's the thing I don't like about the PA right now. It's wicking quite a lot. It's wicking a lot. Wicking the highs, wicking the lows. The lows over here. I don't like these wicks. These to me just look like there's some kind of foul play in the market. Or potential for foul play. So we just want to be a little bit cautious here. Hey, good morning, Jay. How did you get that full gold private jet? I only travel by means. Oh, yeah. I only travel by the means that God allows. Everything is just... Yeah. Like, it's good to say that. It's good to be humble as well. Like, for me, I always believe, like, it's definitely a higher power at play. Everything that I do, I always imagine it's a higher power. You know, like, throughout my day, when something happens, I always thinking that it's a higher power. So I always trying to look for the direction, you know. Because the universe, or God, however you want to put it, will give you a certain direction as a compass throughout your day. As the decisions that you make and the results that you get, it's always like some kind of direction. So you gotta be kind of sensitive to those. I think for me, that's how I look at things. I don't like to play the victim. You know, if something bad happens, I always try and say, okay, so what direction are we going? You know, there's something good happens, or if something good happens, it's like a signal. It's like signal that, okay, just keep doing this. Just keep doing this. You're on the right track. You know, that's why they say God works in mysterious ways. But you just have to be very intuitive about those things. The market this week is crazy, to be honest. Yes. Yeah, it's getting crazy here because, you know, like weekly is also about to close tomorrow. And once the weekly candlestick closes, we might as well just wait until the FOMC. The market on a higher time frame, might as well just wait for the FOMC at that point. So you see, the closer we're getting to FOMC, we're going to start to notice a bit of different type of price action. Because there's a lot of anticipation for that event. It's at 100%. 100% rate cuts right now. All right, let me see. Let's go on the Fed Watch tool. It should still be at 100%. Yeah, it's sitting at 100% still. Say October, December, all 100%. Did you? Oh yeah, we heard about that. Yeah, very sad. Wait, like price size break above resistance, try and move up again. Still a bit of room up there. Re-breaks these highs, got about 46 pips. It's like slowly moving up. It's not doing it all at once. It's much harder to catch a move, obviously, when it's retracing so much. So according to your analysis, where should one be able to take a trade? I mean, there's some options which have been here previously, but the thing is, if you look at the way the market conditions are right now, do you want to take a trade in these conditions? When you're seeing wicks, I mean, trade setups are there. You know, we're kind of speaking about them as well. There's a shotgun play here. Then there's a consolidation breakout. But the question is, do you want to take a trade when you know that price action is so wicky like this? Because if you're going to take a trade, you have to understand what kind of an environment that you're trading in as well. You know, so if you're okay with this, with a potential fakie, then I think the next buy is going to be above resistance. You know, it's not, the question here is not about it becoming a winning trade. You know, it's about you being happy with that outcome. Because if I take a buy here and then it fakes me out, deep down, I'm going to know that I could have just waited. You know, that's the thing, that you're protecting yourself more than just catching a trade. Because you can't miss a move. There's no, you never miss a move in trading. You know, there's always the next move around the corner. So you got to choose. And that's the most advantageous thing for a retail trader, is they get to choose. You know, it's not like we're hedging trades all the time. So you can like cherry pick. You want to trade this condition. Oh, you want to trade maybe this condition over here. You know, you can like cherry pick. Because look, if you look at the condition previously here, that looks a bit different, right? You still get like volume candlesticks. You know, like look at the way price is moving here. Like it's more clean. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's more clean because you got clean candle bodies, not a lot of wicks, and price is just moving directionally. So you could either look for the environments like this, or you can trade an environment like that. But there's definitely a difference in the PA from this section and this section. How long you trading? Almost 6 years. Be like 6 years by the end of this year. I'm always making profits, layering low lots, only buying all zones, closing trades on the way, no stress, constant banking. This makes me happy. Nice to hear, Maddie. Always securing something, I think, is always a good play, to take something off the table. Because, you know, sometimes we get people on stream, they have like these crazy trades. They could even have a buy over here and then ask whether they should still hold. You know, after price has already moved up like 300 pips. You know, sometimes it's very difficult for us to take something off of the table because we think price can just keep moving up. You know, but that's where a lot of traders go wrong. So even if you're securing partials along the way and then just letting runners run, I think it's the best kind of a habit to build. Because at the end of the day, you got to build a good habit, and you got to build good habits around securing profits. Because you don't have to be right in trading to make money. You know, you don't have to be right. You just have to like take your trades according to your plan and secure something. What the market does after that, you know, that's none of your business. Whether it kept going up, whether it reversed on you, doesn't matter. You know, you just secure something and manage your risk. Because FOMO, remember, FOMO doesn't exist. You have to be able to trade and survive the long term. Not just the day, but you're also considering the long-term perspective of things. So it has to be something that you can at least get away with on a daily basis, because those days add up to weeks and those weeks add up to months. And those months, they add up to years. So if you got that higher time frame perspective when you're trading, I think, you know, it's really good. A lot of us, we put too much focus on just that day. You know, oh man, this is a bad day. No, that's okay. There's always going to be bad and good days. But if you can't understand that, then you know trading is not for you. Because what's going to happen is you're going to get discouraged on the bad days. And everybody's got a cluster of losses, like different cluster of losing trades. Most people get discouraged when they start to see that. But it's because they don't fully understand. And the reason why we play the victim is because we don't fully understand what it is that we're doing when situations like that arise. But those are just moments where you got to build your character. You know, again, listen to the universe. Be a bit more intuitive. What is God telling you? Probably telling you, hey, listen, man, this is an opportunity I'm giving you to build your character. So, you know, you got to take a positive outlook on those losses. Because if you're still losing and you're trying to win more, you can't control the wins. So maybe the lesson here is, how can you control the losses? You know, because a losing trade is also as good as a winning trade, because you can prove to yourself that you can survive to trade the next day. You know, that's the lesson there. So if you're going to take a loss, it's a managed loss. It's as good as a win. Don't really like PA gold today. Yeah, me too. It's like low volume over here, you know. This needs to move from this area so we can get some cleaner PA. Like some nice clean candlestick bodies like this. And then it's going to be a bit easier to read. Waiting for the hourly candle before I pull the trigger. Why are we waiting for hourly? Hourly needs to... What does hourly need to do? Because if you're looking to take a trade, this is the playground that we're looking at currently. Right? We see we've already reacted off daily support. Price has moved up, break, retest, continue to push up, create a new higher high. So that's a new... This is the new stop. Because remember, 90% of the time market's not doing anything. So it just had like a small little distribution over here for potential move. Right here. So that was the entry from the shotgun candlestick. And now it's back to consolidating again. Because majority of the time, man, market's not doing much. So you see, that's why it's important to secure something. You get a profitable trade, secure something. Because most of the time in the long run, the market's not going to do much. It's always kind of setting up. And then every now and then you have these bomboclat trades. But you see, right now it's setting up again. It's consolidating. You got resistance. So you'd want to be ideally waiting for a candlestick to close above resistance. Right here, dude. And then continue to move up. You know, the problem with like people always trying to impulse entry is that they have not yet built discipline to even wait for a candle to close, and they want to take impulse entries. And those impulse entries have become more losing trades. Because you don't even have discipline to wait. So right now, especially in a situation like this previous candles don't even have a top wick. Best thing would be to wait for a candle to break and close above this here by 36.31. $36.31, and then you can keep moving up here. This range is 47 pips. So if you look at this for yourself, where is the area of least resistance? You know, what would you say the area of least resistance is? Is it a buy or is it a sell? Buy or is it a sell? Because if you look on the left hand side, you're going to get a hint of what price can do next. So if you look on the left hand side and you see these wicks over here, try to zoom in a bit more. If you see these wicks over here, What do these wicks mean? You know, this is like some kind of a support that's been formed. Even on the lower time frames, if you go on the 1 minute chart, you got to see some kind of supports over here. Correct? So there's a least resistance for price to move up because you got clean candlestick bodies right over here. So the idea is price should be able to continue moving up. It's not always the case. You see how price broke above here and then it retraced. It's not always the case. That's why you also have to manage your risk. But the next time candlestick re-breaks those highs, it should have a better chance to continue to move up. Just the same way as price moved down previously over here would be the same reaction you would expect price to move up. But you see right now what we have instead is like a bit of low volume in these candles. A lot of wicks. Potential shock in the water. Right here. You can see it for yourself. Even if we trade a different strategy, we all are experiencing the same thing with gold right now. It's wicking. It's not directional. You know, what is it doing? Is it moving up or is it moving down? We all kind of have the same feeling about this. You know, just the same way if we are trading, let's say, on this day, we would all have the same feeling that there's some kind of like a bullish momentum in the market. You know, when you see candles start to move like that, you expect price to keep moving up. So those are just like general ways. I think when we think of price action, it's a good way to think of price because it's very objective. You know, if you see price moving like this, look at how prices start moving up. You know, it's very objective that we're currently seeing some kind of a bullish momentum. Correct? Like these are the best trades. These are the best trades. And when you're getting distributions and direction. You see this direction? Problem is we always try and outsmart it. You know, that's our problem. We're like always trying to outsmart the market. So, you know, price moves up and then we want to sell. We always want to sell as price is moving up. Because we feel like we've already missed the buys. So might as well catch the sells, right? That's usually the thought process. Right now, price is just ranging. Simple. There's nothing here. For some perspective, if you're trying to do like a challenge, you would have a better chance on previous days, like where you're seeing some kind of a volume and direction come in. You know, rather than days where market is moving like this. So I think it's really important to understand different conditions. Because this is happening over and over again. I don't know if you're realizing this, but this is happening over and over again. Whenever we have news, for example, coming out during the New York time, and you're trading here London session, you're always going to see where's the support and where's the resistance. Because there's a probability that price is going to range. So that's why when we came on the stream, the first thing we did was we drew resistance and we drew support. Because we already know that there's a probability we're going to range. You always buy gold, never sell. Forecast for gold, today's news is negative. Yeah, today's news is negative for... Of course CPI is neutral. And then also unemployment claims is positive. So it's negative. It's kind of negative for gold. That's true. We got a bit of negative gold. My bias to change to GJ buys if the hourly close above the current level. Man, like I wish gold was moving up like this. But even though GJ has moved up so much, it's only up 0.17%, which is not that much. So I pushed up above 34 pips. It's still got that 200 mark. Coordinates, let's put this to 0. Yeah, but you see if gold is moving like this and we were up, let's say on the daily time frame, then I would be looking for a buy. I'll be looking for a buy. See, this is much more straightforward. Like you can work with this. You can work with this price action. Sound like this? 50-50 mixed buys. So maybe if price breaks below support, continues to move bearish, I think that will look interesting. The hourly has really nice range. Got a few hourly candles here on the left hand side. Silly question here. What candle structure gives hint of one of those giant moves? Oh, the giant moves I think will come in more with like a timing. Because see, the market doesn't necessarily operate always with the structure, but the structure will give you some kind of an entry confirmation. So you see, for example, like yesterday's move, this is just a timing thing. So a lot of people, we were expecting this to happen already. We're expecting price to keep moving up like this. As we break above these highs. It's kind of hard to say, but it has to do with timing. It has to do with timing the market conditions. If you see a situation like this, price pushed up once, it faked out, came back into the range. You pushed up again, it faked out, it came back into the range. But this was highly anticipated. So when we did actually break out, you can see that price had its distribution. I think most of it comes from just showing up every day. Showing up every day at a certain time in the market, then you start to really understand how price moves. You know, like higher time frames were also clean. See, a 30-minute we had a clean candle on the left-hand side. Well, a lot of it has to do with just showing up and understanding your instrument and when volume typically kicks in. But a good sign is usually consolidations like this when you see markets accumulate, because they usually say the bigger the accumulation, the bigger the breakout, which is not necessarily the case, but you could think about it like that. See, massive accumulation and then distribution. Accumulation, distribution. Especially if it's trending. So if the daily time frame has already been moving up, you know, and breaks like this, and it consolidates and then continues to break, and then it consolidates and continues to break. So you also gotta pay attention to direction, market direction. But this one was starting to break above here. I think this was a before we got to pre-London, but usually that 5 a.m. candle has of late having volume in it. See, this happened at 5:35, and the market's gonna leave some clues behind sometimes. You know, this also happened at 5. See, when the volume came in, this again was like at 5. So you see how you have to like look at the time here as well, because it repeats. Sometimes it just repeats the same time for the move. This was pre-New York. That's usually when I'm getting in. So I think anywhere between that 5 a.m. Eastern to like 6 to 7 a.m. Eastern, you can expect some kind of a big move in line with your confirmations. And then there's always kind of like a different structure. You know, for example, here we didn't have clean range like in the first example, but these were like the all-time highs. So as price was already moving up, you see bullish momentum. Price is already moving up and you got all-time highs here. It's a pretty strong probability that we go to the all-time highs. That acts like a magnet, so you can kind of expect like a big move. So you see, that's why I mean, like, it also depends on the environment. So you just gotta show up. Show up and watch price. Then another big move like this, you know, this kind of big moves, these happen with news. So now this was a news-driven big move. It's like 8:30 a.m. It's like New York session. This is when the red folders come in. See, now that's a different case scenario. Yeah, so I think that's it. Just show up at that same time that you usually trade, and you're gonna expect like certain things. Like, you know, when I come in during the London session, I'm also expecting like some kind of a big move. But if I come onto the London and we start to see price consolidate like this, then I'm no longer expecting a big move. Now I'm thinking to myself that the next big move is going to come in during pre-New York. Remember, drink more water, chat. Yeah, so next range here, we got to come up. Gotta come uptown. 36.31. There's a lot of gap if it sell it, the reason why. FVGs. Took first trade today. Oh, you see, amazing. This is what I mean. Look at how much more clean cut this idea here is. You know, price was moving down. Took a sell at the break of the lows here, expecting for price to continue moving down bearish. See this? It's a lot more cleaner. Cleaner PA. And I'll say that was the only trade, really, which is like since pre-London up till London Open, that was some kind of like a nice structure. Because since then, we just kind of crashed. The wave kind of crashed here, and then it just lost momentum. Wow, risky trade. Took a swing at news today. Beautiful accumulation breakout here. The lion buys highs and sells low. The king of the jungle, the lion. I think a lion goes against a hippo. Hippo will probably win. Hippo's bite is super powerful. If it gets a lion in that bite, it's curtains. The lion's just gotta scratch it up a bit. Hippos are fast too. I don't think a human can outrun a hippo. Let's see, can a human outrun a hippo? Maybe the fastest man on earth could. No, a human cannot outrun a hippo. Despite their large size, hippos can run at speeds of 30 miles per hour, which is 48 kilometers per hour. Over short distances, faster than any human. A human could beat it in terms of endurance. You know, that's the thing about humans. You got a strong endurance. So like animals are naturally faster than us, but we have more endurance. To escape a charging hippo, you should climb a tree or any other obstacle or run in a zigzag pattern to make the hippo change direction. Can a lion? No, let's ask Zoli. Let's ask Zoli a non-Forex related question and see how it answers this. Because Zoli is a GPT for trading. Who would win? Okay, how do we do this? Who would win in a fight A hippo or a lion? All right, so leave your votes in, guys. Buys on the hippo. If you think the hippo is gonna win, then that's a buy. And if you think the lion's gonna win, then that's a sell. So write in the chat. Buy or sell. Buy or sell. Hippo versus lion. Hippo, no doubt. Buy or sell. All right, let's get the fortune cookie here. Let's get the fortune cookie. Mediating. Okay, so we got some buys. Someone says sell. Lion. Hippo versus lion. Let's see. All right, so we're going to go with the middle one for neutral. All right, let's see what happens. In the realm of this battle, the scales tip towards the heart of courage and fate, embodied by the yellow. Though the hippo may seem like a fortress, the lion's courage shines through as a force of destiny. Thus, the feline predator emerges victorious in this fierce clash. Oh. It said lion. But you see on Google it says a hippopotamus would win in a fight against a lone lion. Yeah, 1 versus 1 due to its massive size, thick skin, powerful jaws with a 1,800 psi bite force, and aggressive nature. Lions are significantly smaller and more fragile, lacking the power to inflict fatal damage on an adult hippo. You know, that's why I thought it'd just probably scratch it up. This is like the underdog of the jungle. Everyone thinks the lion's the king, but actually the hippo is the underdog. Not king of the jungle for nothing. Pride of lions would win though. No trade zone. You see this? No trade zone. You can anticipate, just the way you're going to anticipate those big running moves, you can also anticipate market consolidations like this. Am I right in saying that the rate cut should see gold fly? Yes, sir. Rate cut should see gold fly. 100%. Right now, probability is at 100%. Never seen that. 100% probability for rate cut in September. But you know, smart money is already in these positions. Imagine this. You see, this is always the case. Always the case when it comes to retail traders and smart money concepts when it comes to trading news. You see this when the news already kicked off? This is when retail traders are most of the time getting in is when the news is just about coming out. Then they're getting their buys there. They're already waiting for the news. But you see, there's always ways we can anticipate. You know, a lot of the time, trading is all about anticipation. So if you're good at reading fundamentals and when Powell speaks and the clues that he leaves behind, you could like anticipate these moves. You know, it's always in hindsight that it looks very straightforward. So you got to work on that skill bone, which is like anticipating. And the best way to do that is to stick to a specific time in the market that you're trading. Specific time, because every time you're going to see like, okay, so you see this today? Today we're consolidating. So this is not the first time. Remember I said, chat, this is not the first time we've been here. And it's going to keep happening. When we have red folders during the New York session, you can always imagine once you break into a range, when the London session opens up, start drawing your resistance, start drawing your support. Because there's a chance we're just going to consolidate. And then look at the daily time frame. Are we trending? You know, how far down are we? Because right now we're only down 0.30%, which is not a trend. You know, it's not necessarily like a strong trend. Yeah, the daily is moving down. Majority of the volume is bearish, but it's not necessarily a strong trend. And then you're like, the more you show up during those times, it starts to imprint, like that experience, it starts to imprint. And you're like, okay, so today I can anticipate more of a bearish direction. As opposed to other days, maybe it's like a little bit more straightforward. Question is it 25 or 50? I think it's going to be 25. Most likely 25. And a couple of those 25s. September, October. But it will still move the market, you know. It's still going to be pretty strong because we're still expecting more than just one. One-on-one, the lion has the agility but lacks the power to fatally affect the hippo. As soon as the lion is tired, it gets ragdolled. That's the best case for the lion, yeah. Can you share what MA you're using? There's a 50 and the 8. You can download the MAs, remember, in the description box below. That's a free TFX indicator, sir. Yeah, I see some of the Ricardo took something here. It's always when the candles move. That's when you're gonna see some sort of reaction from the market, I guess. That's when the profit taking comes. See, right now it's gearing up to break above 36.31. Oh, that image is not loading for some reason. Oh, I think I got it. It's always when the market moves. See, oh, there's a break here. It's a 1 minute break. Oh, we got a 1 minute break. Consolidation plays have been playing out. Look at this. You got one right here. You got one right here. You got one right here. All been playing out. Also, that's a reversal confirmation signal right there too. It's a nice reversal confirmation. So 1 minute plays, I guess you could get away with something, but the key resistance for sure is 36.31. Would be nice if you're planning on holding a run, if there was actually volume in the market, which there isn't right now. But there's actually volume in the market, you know, this would be a very nice running opportunity as candlestick breaks above that resistance. Could you show us your today buy setup? Oh, it's a consolidation breakout from this period right over here. Where did I take it? Yeah, like here's we're breaking above 36.30. 30? Yeah, 36.30 I think it was. It was just the same thing as what's happening here was my buy setup. It's the same idea. Consolidation, breakout. Consolidation, breakout. But that was... These are all like counter trend moves though, you see, because the majority of the volume still is heading downwards. So getting these running trades is like very difficult. What is the view of CPI news? It's coming out. It looks like it's coming out neutral. Ooh, nice. You also caught the sell. Let's freaking go. It's the only type of clean traffic, you know. Since this last sell, nothing. You could get away with maybe some shotgun entries here, but yeah, overall speaking, low volume. That's the one really nice one. Like secured partial as well, man. Look at this. Partial down to support. Today could be a crazy day depending on how CPI comes out. Yeah, I mean, if you see prices already behaving like this, then for sure, this could just mean like a huge move. Huge move for NY. I don't trust these lows. I feel like price gonna break these lows and then fake below them. 200 pip move on a 1 minute candle. Is that what you're expecting, sir? 200 pip move. Or is that last event? That was the NFP. Now, when it ranges like this, like if this is gonna be, if it keeps holding this range, especially these lows, before the core CPI comes, it's kind of more like if it melts, it's gonna distribute quite heavy off of this. It'll just be the same way as any sort of accumulation breakout, such as this, but with that additional volume. Whenever you see like a perfect consolidation, because it's not always perfect consolidation, but if you see a perfect consolidation before the fundamentals come out, man, that's going to be a heavy move. And it looks like gold is weakening, even though we're expecting... You see, this is the problem I don't like with the scheduled fundamentals on Forex Factories. Even though numbers are looking to be positive for the dollar, at least for unemployment claims, like gold is moving down. So it's like anything can happen because the differences here are not that big. You know, the core CPI is keeping it neutral. The difference in unemployment claims is really not that big. It's just like anything can happen. It could wick down first, give you like maybe like 80 pips, and then wick back up like 100 pips. 100 plus pips. If you're going to trade fundamentals on your main account, and just stop trading right now. Just stop trading, because all the gains and all the progress you make, you're just going to give it back during the news. Did you hear about... Yeah, sir. Yes, Ryan, we heard about it. We heard about it. Isn't it crazy? Social media can just, you know, however it wants, it can make anything trend. Tomorrow we could be talking about how dangerous eating bananas are. You know, the most random thing, if they will it. If Instagram and, you know, YouTube and Facebook, if they will it, so it shall be. But yeah, that's what everybody's talking about today. Thank you for the advice. Lost 200 today. Yeah, you see, don't trade the news. Gold is coming down. Let's try and break that hourly support. We're down 0.40% right now. Do we got any news tomorrow? Tomorrow's gonna be Freaky Friday. Let's see. GDP for the pound, but we don't have any news tomorrow. Okay, so that's good. Consumer sentiment. This is like 2 hours into the New York session. That's the only red folder. So I think today is going to be the most volatile day between today and tomorrow. But yeah, Audi's trying to break through the support. Kind of funny that Audi doesn't have a top wick. Very suspicious. 57 minutes left on this candlestick here. I really expect these to be fake outs, chat. Like this whole zone, I'm expecting it's going to be a fake out. You might even have a strong push down, but I think it's going to come back up. Especially with no top wick there on the Audi. Kind of very suspicious that it's already breaking so quickly. Because what's the probability? You know, again, look at these previous hourly candles. Why do they all have top and bottom wicks? All have top, bottom wick, top, bottom wick, top, bottom wick. When was the last time an hourly candle didn't have... This was on Wednesday. This was yesterday. But this was the market open as well, you know? That was the market open. Oh, was it? No, that was not the market open. But yeah. Very suspicious. Let's watch it fake out, guys. Let's watch the whips. Someone might get a whip over here. Someone looking for these sells because it looks good. I mean, if it plays out, you know, awesome, but it looks good. I think people are looking for these sells, but I think it's going to pull back up. Let's see what happens. Like 30 minutes. No top wick on any of these candles, obviously. New hourly candle just opened and ripped down. From an entry perspective, don't see an entry on the 1 minute either, because we just had this push up, which looks like a fake out now to drive downwards. My trading view is lagging. If it does break clear traffic until 3600, yeah, clean traffic down towards exactly like 30, 36. Yeah, clean traffic towards like 30, 3581 there on the hourly. Would it really give back all those gains? Because if you look at the weekly time frame, this candlestick would reflip and basically re-break its own lows. Okay, it's starting to pour down. Are we gonna pour? Are we waterfalling? Are we faking? Leave a comment down below. Are we waterfalling or are we faking? Is it a waterfall or is it a fake? I'm just taking a sell right here at the break of these lows. Boop, take a sell right there. Oh, is it a waterfall or fakey? What do you guys think? Waterfall or fakey? Waterfall or fakey? I'm not taking any sell right now. I imagine this is how people are going to be looking to get the breaks. Just expecting volume to kick in. Right, like recently we've been seeing that 5 a.m. candle have a small little volume. Yeah, fake. You know, when you take a trade like this, you got to be very convinced with your entry. Yeah, you got the daily trend now. Price is down 0.47%, which I guess is good. 0.47%, but it can easily still come back up. Fake. A quick move down to come up. Let's say fakey liquidity grab, 4-hour bottom wick. Oh, some brokers already closed on the 4-hour, I think. So if you go on, let's say, Owanda, 4-hour just opened. 4-hour just opened. Look at this. And that daily support. FXCM has a healthy one, but it's about to close in 54 minutes. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Yesterday's volume came out at 1:30 from now. 1 hour, 30 minutes from now. That 1 minute consolidation played crazy. Ooh. Man, what an exit right before that small retracement. Partial out. Secured here. Man, I think next simulation is going to be next week. I don't think we're going to do one this weekend. We're going to do one next weekend. Yeah, because you see, the thing is, if price starts to come up right now, it shouldn't scare you out of your position if you're expecting price to keep going down. But if you start to see volume come in like this, deep down inside, you know that this was not it was not worth the risk. You know, if it plays out, awesome. But we always think about those times that doesn't play out. Because that's how tilt happens. Tilt happens when we start to break our rules. You know, we start to break our rules, and then that's when we kind of fall back to our bad habits. That's usually typically what happens to people. You know, so you kind of want to avoid as many of those trades that can make you tilt as possible. Like a trade like this for me, man, if I see a candlestick come back into that range, knowing what we're expecting today, that's going to kind of annoy me. You know, if I have 1 or 2 shots a day, I'm not spending it on this. I'm not spending on this yet. Because the time aspect of it, for me, is not there. You know, I'm still waiting for the pre-NY, if anything. That's going to be the next hourly candlestick open. And by then, we would already have a good idea of where price is going to be heading. It's just a similar situation like what happened yesterday, basically. Remember, we were stuck in this range the whole day, the whole time, and then it only started breaking at 5. Basically, this same hourly candlestick, it started breaking. I'm like, okay, fine. Now you've shown me the direction. Let me go do something else for a bit as I wait for that hourly open. And when it's 6 a.m. candle open, I started looking for my buys. You know, because FOMO doesn't exist. You know, it's only exists in your head. When you see a move like this, it's the same thing that can be happening to gold right now. The same exact thing, but to the downside, can be happening on gold right now. You know, but it doesn't mean that you've missed a move. At least the market can show you like some kind of a commitment. Gambling the fake out, no top wick makes sense to go up at least this bit before coming down. Oh man, if you catch it, that's going to be a really nice pullback. What's happened? Let's say on the 1 minute. Maybe it does a 1 minute reversal consolidation play. Basically, it would be the same thing that happened here as price broke below and then consolidates to come back into the range. But now below the support. So it's still trickling down. Not yet enough structure to show that it's planning on reversing yet. Ooh. It's gold you want to sell today. Let's say weekly. So the weekly gonna end. Come on, fake them out, Goldie. I want to see them get whips. 100% people looking for sells because price has not moved the whole time. Generally speaking, price has not moved, especially since the London Open here. This is the kind of the first distribution that's currently in play. This is where people can potentially be looking to cash some sells. It's always when the price moves like this, so you get people more involved as well. Oh, fake them out, Goldie. Give us 100 pip skyrocket right now. 100 pip skyrocket back into the range. And then you gotta tell people, hey, hold up now. You gotta wait. You still gotta wait for some kind of a confirmation because you know this is the first move. This hasn't shown a continuation yet. This is just a first breakout. Maybe if it can break below here and then respect and continue moving down, maybe we do keep moving down towards New York time. Come on, Goldie. Can you explain how to use sell limit and buy limit? No, I think you can go on Google and look at that. You can literally Google that. Let's see if we can actually ask this AI what to do. Gold is starting to break below 36.22 on the 1 hour time frame. There's clean candles on the left hand side. Should I take a buy now or should I wait? We also have core. I mean, should I take a sell now or should I wait? We also have core CPI and unemployment claims coming out in the New York session time at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Or should I wait until pre-New York, which is the next hourly candlestick, to start looking for trades? What do you think?
That's a great question. Given that there are major economic reports coming out soon, it might be a bit riskier to enter a trade right now because those reports can cause sudden volatility. If you're comfortable with that risk and you see a clear setup, you could consider a sell. Otherwise, it might be safer to wait until after the data is released and then see how the market reacts. That way you have a clearer picture of the trend direction.
And I can't wait till the data releases though. That's going to be too late. I wish I had AI like this. I want to work on an AI like this for all members in the exclusive, that they have a TetraFX head over here, or like TetraFX emoji, and then it's gonna, like, you know, give some advice. It's gonna give some advice on what you should do. I think that would be pretty cool. Waterfall. Man, I thought you were joking when you said you're still using an old iPhone. Yeah, I mean, it's a 16, but it's not the... It's like, at the end of the day, it's like, you know, if you're a content creator, use your phone a lot of the time, then yeah, I guess it's like a good investment to have like all those cameras and whatnot. But most of the time, I just use my phone for like texting, calling. I don't really... I have like pictures every now and then, you know. If I'm gonna make a vlog for y'all, I'm gonna use a different camera. Yeah, but look at this. Look at this thing over here. Oh man, it's just... Why does it not look like a fake out? I want this thing to fake out so bad. It doesn't have a top wickle there on the hourly. Let's say we're down 0.58%. No entries for me either way. Even if I wanted to take a sell, I couldn't take a sell. I couldn't take a sell because there's no structure here. Price is just moving down. Need to make a lower high eventually. Oh, Lee, where the hell is this volume coming from? Yeah, we're down like 0.66% though, right now. No FOMO. If you're feeling FOMO right now, then, you know, maybe you gotta do something else. But this shouldn't give you FOMO. This should be perfect, man. This is awesome right here. At least we're breaking out. You know, fine, I didn't catch it. It wasn't a fake out. But at least it's breaking out. At least there's a move that we can catch later. You know, maybe that's going to be a... I think a sell would be a good idea because it's already down 0.67%. And it's got clean range on the left-hand side. Holy. Man, you got 43 minutes on this candle. It's just pushed down like 120 pips from the open. Hey, Stanny, thank you for the sub. I took a risky sell. We'll manage on the 1 minute. Yeah, I couldn't have taken this even if I wanted to, because if I look at all the time frames here, there's no confirmation for me for a sell. Because the ranges on the left hand side, these are higher time frame ranges. So I'd have to base my trade off of maybe a 1 hour candle. As it broke these lows. Maybe like some kind of a 1 hour candle, expecting price to continue moving down. Because on the 1 minute, there's also no structure here. It just kind of came downwards, you know. It's listening to you and said, I'd bet. I'm from Nigerian. Hey, Usman. Hey, welcome, Usman. Usman's quite a common Nigerian name, isn't it? Usman. It's a TV show I watch. There's a Nigerian guy in there called Usman. What's it called? 90 day? I think it's called 90 day fiance or something like that. Whip incoming. This pullback here. So much pullback, just about like 40 pips. You think you can still whip? I mean, if we already pushed down this much, we might as well stay below 36.22. So you took a buy at 36.16. Yeah, if your strategy did not align with any entry confirmations, then you mustn't feel any sort of FOMO. Should be numb to this types of moves in the market. Remember, this is just one move of thousands of moves that are going to be in your trading career. Always remember that. Whenever you feel like even a hint of FOMO, just remember that there's so many more of these moves you're going to be taking in the year. So definitely a higher time frame play, but that's a very suspicious hourly candlestick. Got 40 minutes still, no top wick. Do you think you can beat Piastri? Yes. Yeah, I think so. Fear the one who has less to lose. In Formula 1. Doesn't always work out though. But if you're more confident, then for sure, you know, fear the person who has less to lose. But it's also like a calculated risk as well. There's a scary thing about that sport. So if you got a corner somewhere, and you're both heading towards that corner, it's like, you know, fear the guy who has less to lose because the other guy's going to back down. Then you can just take that corner. But it's all calculated risks. Like right now in this trade, I would be more fearful. You know, for me, this as a calculated risk, I would not be willing to be on the seller side in this situation. You know, but if now that we're getting some sort of like directional bias, now I'm slowly turning into potential seller here. So I know when I do get my entry confirmations that we're going to be on the right side of the market. But this was still a bit too early for me. Plus, I didn't get any entry confirmations. See, like, okay, look at this. For example, my trade yesterday, fear the guy who has less to lose. Look at that. Because I was on the right side of the market, look at how close price came to stopping me out. Fear the guy who has less to lose. Because, you know, we're overall moving bullish here. So who would be more fearful in a situation like this? Obviously the sellers would be more fearful. So we got to stick with the buys. Because we're not going to sell our buys. Because we're on the right side of the market. You know, so we're going to keep holding the buys. Sell stop laid down there. Grab and reserve 40 pips. Oh, nice. That was my last trade for today. 4.5%. Daily loss 0.5% more and lost my funded. What did you do? Price moved down. So you took a buy? Were you trying to outsmart the market? You never outsmart the market. You know, if price comes down, you never outsmart the market. Because now you're always catching a falling knife. You know, we can just anticipate fake outs, but we don't trade fake outs. I don't trade fake outs.
We don't do that here.
I always trade in the direction that the market is going. For this specific reason. But no worries, man. Back on the horse. It's just a common name with the northern part of Nigeria. I know there's not a lot to do in Nigeria. Like from my friends who live in Nigeria, who worked in organizations in Nigeria, and I say my friends a lot. I don't even have that many friends. It's just a select group of people. I can count all my friends on one hand. But they got some jobs there in Nigeria. You get paid a lot, you know. But it's also quite dangerous. Apparently, you gotta need like security escort from the airport. There's like a convoy of security. There's always a rolling in convoys of security, and you get paid a lot because it's like a red zone. You know, when you work for organizations, they show you if it's like a red, orange, the risk of the country. So like Nigeria is like red, Kenya is like orange, for example. So you get paid quite a lot to work there. But I heard Nigeria is good for like art. They have really nice art. But in terms of like, would you actually want to live there in terms of activities and stuff? Probably not. But they apparently have really nice art. Yeah, this thing, man, this thing is just coming. Damn. Might be able to catch a Burna Boy show easily. That would be cool. Yeah, the funny thing about the artists though, they don't even perform in Nigeria. They perform internationally. They got good art and music. Yeah, I forgot about the music. They got good art and music. But most of those performers are like performing outside the country, you know, because they get paid more. Like if you look at Wizkid, I think Wizkid for the most part, I see him like in Miami, you know, say living in Miami or something. Yeah, this is one of the most popular Nigerian artists. Even Rema. No, Rema is not a Nigerian. I think he's from Ghana. I think. Yeah, but it's insane, man. Like amazing music industry. Amazing music industry. You know, it's the same way like you wouldn't imagine the highest paid actor is Indian. You know, his name is Shah Rukh Khan or something. It's the highest paid actor, not Tom Cruise, not Angelina Jolie, it's this guy. You know, this guy. I think if you fly like Qatar Airways or something, you're gonna see he's gotta be one of the guys doing the instructional videos as well. He gets paid millions for that. Highest paid actor. See, like Bollywood, man, huge industry. Also Nollywood in Nigeria. Actually movies, damn. Nigeria does art, music, and movies because they have Nollywood. Oh, guys, I gotta go. Someone's at the door. Be right back. All right, we're back. Gold and GJ are bipolar opposites at the moment. Yeah, it's like GJ looks like it's moving quite a lot, but if you go on the daily, it's only up 0.18%. But it actually looks like quite a big move. 0.18%, but yeah, complete opposite here. Complete opposite. Let's see what the dollar index is doing. Dollar index should be moving up bullish, but I think we saw dollar weakness. Didn't we see dollar weakness? Yeah, the daily is only up 0.15%. I guess kind of makes sense. 0.15% bearish gold. What is our currency strength meter here saying? Oh, dollar bullish. Wow, look at this. Full bars on the dollar. Full bars on the dollar here. But it's only up 0.15% on the dollar index. I was trying, for instance, to be smart and use RSI with 200 EMA, 30-minute confluence. I was stopped out exactly at SL of 15 pips. Ooh, man, that's the worst. Super close though. Very close. Yeah, it is insane how accurate the market is when it comes to those types of things and how you can get away with them. Like, because this is a most recent example, but this happens it happens more often than you think. Price coming and then not stopping your anniversary. Because what I used to do was a very bad habit. I used to have a habit of closing every time like a trade would come into drawdown. I didn't know how to manage my risk, so I would always close my trade, thinking that, oh, definitely it's gonna hit the stop loss. And then I started to realize, man, if I was gonna hold the trade, I would have survived those situations. So every time price is coming down, my first instinct to think is we could still reject. You know, so I'm not so quick on the stop loss. Even if it like spikes below it, you always gotta look at the 1 minute candles, because if it spikes down, it can just quickly come back up. Always think like there's a chance that you can always survive those things, because that's an additional variable. You know, when you think about trading, there are these kind of like variables that you have to consider. So we got the shock in the water when price is just choppy and there's a lot of volatility. That's one variable, like a shock in the water. That means you could have the best, or it doesn't even necessarily have to have a lot of volatility, but you could have the A+++ setup and that still gets faked out. You get faked out, maybe you have resistance, you create a support, and as price breaks the highs, it does a quick liquidity run, but still continues to move up. You see, that's a variable. It means your trade idea was perfect. You know, it was part of the plan and you still had a good trade, but that's just an additional variable to consider in the market. You know, it's like, it happens from time to time. A shock in the water, liquidity grabs, or stuff like this happening close to stop loss and then reversing. It's also another additional variable. These are important because these will, in the long term, affect your P&L. So it's good to at least understand them. You know, because it's not all so fair in the market. You know, besides the PA and reading of the candlesticks and executing with discipline and consistency, we do have those things we can't control. So the more we understand them, the better that we can survive. Because, you know, a lot of time people complain a lot. You know, price comes down like this and they say, oh, spread took me out. Man, like, how many times does the spread need to take you out so you can register that that's just going to be happening to you over and over again? You know, so if you're going to be trading like these scalping trades where you got like, you know, 10 pips stop loss, 15 pips stop loss, or just even 20 plus pips stop loss, but just being cautious about those things happening, I think you're going to save a lot of money. Oh, Rema is Nigerian? Oh, my bad. Rema is Nigerian, please. My bad. Apologies. Yeah, you got Rema as well. You got everybody. Let's see what the news is saying. We haven't even covered the fundamentals, the macros. Gold rate today. Yellow metals price dip. Check latest rates in your city. Okay, no, this one we don't need. Gold slips but remains elevated on geopolitical tensions. Gold slip but remain above 3,600 a troy ounce as safe haven. I think this is futures. Oh no, also gold spot. Yeah, 3,600 an ounce as safe haven demand continues to be strong. In early morning European trade, gold trades down 0.5%. The precious metal has gained after the US wholesale inflation unexpectedly declined in August, leading traders to raise expectations of interest rate cuts this year. A combination of geopolitical tensions and economic uncertainty means investors we'll continue to seek safety in the precious metal. So overall, that's just saying that we're still going to be moving up on the HTF. These are retracements. I'm not sure why. Maybe we're pricing in the news. Or we could just be having profit taking as we're coming closer to FOMC. Okay. Nothing too much. Nothing too interesting there. Yeah, the CPI view is, you know, like the numbers are coming out neutral for CPI. So what can you do at that point? You know, this is the consensus here, is that numbers are coming out at 0.3%. So is it a buy? Is it a sell? Don't know. I think it's a good opportunity to just stay away from the market. Less than forecast is good for the currency. You see, the differences are not so big. These, if you're going to trade news, you want to at least trade news with like some kind of a big difference. You know, right now, we're not expecting much of a big difference between these two. Unemployment claims and core CPI. So yeah, today I've only taken one buy. Looks like the trend is, it's still bearish. It's still bearish. Now we're definitely down 0.58%. So I only had one counter trend and that's it. That's it so far. Maybe I'm going to get another trade. But the worst thing you can do is like force yourself to take a position. Because, you know, if you force yourself, always losing trades. Every single time losing trade. I love falling knives, but if you don't put a SL, you will blow their account. Specifically, when people scale into losing trades, this is so normal. For people to do that is crazy. Yeah. If you're catching falling knife, I think the best strat is what you do is a tight stop loss. Because you're going to limit the amount of exposure you have to the drawdowns. Because when price starts to move, sometimes it gets these really aggressive pushes. Are we selling now? No. We are waiting. You know, you got to do this. You got to take your hands like this and you got to sit on them. You got to sit on them and forget about it. Because the trade must find you, you know. You're not the one finding the trade. The trade will find you. So, you know, you're going to realize your best setups are the ones which they come to you. You don't chase for the market. But right now, I'd say taking a buy is a very risky thing to do because, you know, we've already pushed down so heavily. And if you're looking at buys maybe above 36.19, there's a chance that the next candle can just open and then continue to move down bearish because we're down 0.58%. So we are trending. We are now officially trending on the daily. So I would say looking for a sell if anything. Until maybe the only time I'm looking for a buy is if price breaks above resistance and then respects support and keeps moving up. Then I'm going to say, okay, you know, maybe we can get a buy. But in this scenario, with this volume, we're looking more for sells. Because like you're going to trade what you see. And what we see right now is price is moving down. That's what we see. You know, it's a difference to what we feel that price can do here. What we feel, maybe price comes and fakes out. But until that happens, there's nothing, you know. Maybe if price breaks below the support and then consolidates here and then breaks the highs, then we could expect like some kind of a reversal confirmation signal. You know, from these lows back into the gulag. Back into the range that we were in before. But until that happens, man, we can't do nothing. We just have to wait for more structure. Remember, FOMO does not exist. Like, even if you think like you missed this move, sometimes what happens is price retraces back up, gives another entry, and then you can also catch the sell again. Let's see the hourly. Hourly is supposed to close here in about 16 minutes. Still didn't have that top wick too. Remember, there's a bit of a small imbalance that happened over here. Gold schlongs. Where's everybody from the chat from? Just write it in the chat. What country are you from? I know Ricardo from Portugal. Mr. Rashid, Germany. King Woods, China. Or lives in China. You got Jay from Australia. We got, who else? Who else do I remember? Got Luke from the UK. Alexander, Austria. Oh, nice. I've been to Austria. I've gone skiing in Austria before. Welcome, welcome. We got South Africa. Some Kenyans in the chat. Qatar. Manchester. Manchester United. Germany. Argentina. Oh, nice. Argentina. Argentina. Greece, Sydney. Indonesia. Oh, Ghana. Zimbabwe. Townsville. Townsville, isn't that from a cartoon? Townsville, but it's an actual place. Townsville. I remember some kind of cartoon called, oh, that was Powerpuff Girls. Man, that's crazy. Still remember Townsville from this cartoon. Oh, nice. So you're from Townsville, Australia. Got Egypt. I want to visit Egypt. Go to the pyramids. Yeah, Mr. Rashid, Wakanda. Norway, Sweden. Is it true that in those Scandinavian countries that if you go to the urinal is like up here? You know, like up here for foreigners, because Scandinavian people are so tall that urinals are like, they've been adjusted. I don't know if that's an actual thing. The Netherlands. Very nice. Well, glad to have everybody on board. Welcome to the best London session stream. I hope you learned something new today here about candles, or just patience or discipline. And you must tune into the stream for the next couple of months. And I think, you know, your trading is going to be on the next level. When it comes to learning how to read candlesticks, volume, anticipating certain things, you know, like consolidations, follow throughs with clean ranges, that sort of thing. We use candlestick price action trading coupled with a bit of smart money concepts. You're most welcome, brother. When you decide, I will host you. Thank you. Thank you. Remember sending your chart work as well. If you want to get feedback on your trades, you know, you can send in some chart work. Instead of saying, look at this, look at that, just send in a chart. But yeah, guys, I think I'm going to end off the stream here. I will see you all tomorrow for Freaky Friday. Let's see what price action does. Remember, we got core CPI later today, and just be a little bit cautious. We're still trending as long as we're down below the support. I'm still looking for some kind of a sell. I think a sell would play out beautifully. But right now, man, the way it's acting, we might even see ourselves back in the gulag over here. You know, we got core CPI, I believe. So watch out for that, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Adios.
Pull up in the whip, FaceTime like a grip. Told me now we bout to dip.